Here he is. Aim for his engine deck. A nice fire. Just like that, 4,000 damage. It has come to my attention that there's actually two versions of this tank. There's one on the North American/EU servers. This is Wargaming's Progetto 6. And then there's the Lesta version. That's the Russian server, right? So this video is not about the Wargaming one. I've never played this tank, and the one I'm playing is from the Lesta server. They have different stats. The one in the Lesta server is a tier 9. The one in Wargaming is a tier 8. So don't get this confused with the tier 8 Progetto if Wargaming ever decide to release that tank. This is different. Alright, let's go through the stats very quickly. 2,100 DPM, which is like a bit below average, but it's an auto reloader, so it doesn't really matter. 240 alpha damage, that's quite low. 256 pen, that's quite nice actually. And here are the reload times. That's right, this is a 5-shot auto reloader with a 1.5 second intra-clip reload. Now when the magazine is completely empty, you've got a very, very long reload, 11.5. Then it's 10.5, then it's 9.5, then it's 7 and 6. So because you have such a fast intra-clip, the way you play this tank is that you do 2-round bursts whenever you can, right? That's 480 alpha damage, and the reload is not too long. Now, if you want to go deeper, that's fine, but you're going to be reloading for quite a while. If you reload your entire magazine, you do 1,200 a clip in 6 seconds, which is not too bad. Very nice aim time. Very nice accuracy or dispersion. However, the dispersion factors are not that great, especially after firing, considering this very fast intra-clip reload. The top speed, 60, is great. The power to weight is pretty good, above average. 10 degrees of gun depression, always nice. It hasn't really got any armor, and it hasn't really got much health, but it does have some armor in certain circumstances. As you can see, if you're using all of your gun depression, the sides are an auto ricochet, and the mantlet is quite strong, so it's very good against lower tier tanks. You poke, they don't pen you, and then you clip them. 90 rounds ammo capacity, which is great. However, because it's an auto reloader, intuition doesn't really work. 310 heat is, like, it's not great, but it's good for tier 9. And 90 pen 320 HE, again, this would be awesome if it wasn't for the fact that intuition doesn't really work on auto reloaders. Now, let's compare it to the Skoda T56. Slightly worse DPM, right? The reload time it doesn't show you all the shells, but I would say it's longer. You have more clip damage, but it takes longer to dump that clip. As you would expect, the Skoda T50 is a very fast burst tank, but the Skoda has a longer aim time and worse accuracy. However, its dispersion factors are better, especially after firing, but it doesn't get the same gun depression, and it's slower with the top speed, even though it has a better power to weight. So all in all, I'd say they're around equal, and I personally think the Progetto 6 can perfectly fit right into the North American and EU servers as a tier 9 premium. It's not overpowered, but it's actually quite fun to play. And for equipment, I'm going to use the obvious vert stabs, IRM, and then mobility improvement system, because I want to get the dispersion after firing to below 2.5. And that can be done with all of these. In fact, you don't even need this funky mobility system. You can just use a regular turbo. And that's what I have on this tank, because I don't have a mobility system tier 3. However, I would put it on because it has more than enough engine power to get it to its top speed on hard and medium. Not quite soft, but that's fine. And then look, the dispersion after firing is 2.37. That's below 2.5. I'd say that's good. In fact, it even gets a field mod right here to get it down even more to 2. But it does nerf your reload, so that's not really preferable. Now, if you didn't care much, you could go like DPM maxing. Do all this, do all that, and go for that. So your shot is 5.97 seconds. But really, we went from 2100 to 2400. It's a nice increase, but it's not that much. This is an auto reloader, so it's not really about DPM. It's about bursting tanks, right? So anyway, that's all there is to this tank. Now I'm going to show you some replays. Okay, the Progetto 6 on, what is this map called? Karelia. That's right, been playing this game for 12 years now. Happy New Year. Although this video will probably come out a few days after New Year. Anyway, so this thing's fast. It's got an auto reloader. Where am I going to take it? Well, I'm going to take it to the south, obviously. Because quite frankly, if you go north, it's kind of a hull down brawling fight. If anybody goes there at all. which quite frankly, a lot of the times nobody goes there. And then, you know, you take A1 for free, and then you got to figure out a way to get to their base without getting sniped by a shit barn and again draw me. So I'd rather just go this way. So as you can see, it takes quite a long time to reload these shots. However, I'm fast, and this guy is close enough. Ah, there we go. 238. Big damage. I know. It's fine. I didn't want to overly hype this thing up because, after all, I think it's pretty average. Nothing crazy. Let's just wait for this reload. All right, there we go. Oh, you want some? Okay, you can have some too. That's fine. Gonna wait. Oh, did you see that shot? Did you see that? Oh, hold on. After I put a shot to this guy, we'll rewind it. Check that out. Fuck you, Wargaming. And yes, this is not even a Lesla problem. Wargaming, this has been in the game since the days Kharkov, at least, was in the game. Why does this happen? Fix your stupid game. Anyway. So, we've conquered the hill. I'm out of shells, so I'm just going to take this momentary respite to reload all of them. Now, you might be wondering, all right, so Chems, are you going to go, you know, logically push this corner, fight all this? No, absolutely not. I am not going to fight a side-scraping Greyhound, a TNH, and a Gendrame hiding there, okay? That's not going to happen. And even if we killed all of that, we have to push into a shit barn. So, or a Death Star. I always mix those up. Not going to happen. Instead, what I'm going to do is wait for my EBR to outspot the enemy lights. Because once the light tanks are dead, guess what? We can play the middle part. That is what you're supposed to do. Generally speaking, it is easier to break this camping if, first of all, there's no lights in the mid and you just follow this path like this. Got a nice quick kill on the Gendrame. Yeah, the Gendrame. The Jumbanamane. Now here is the AMX, and oh, look, our scout has spotted a bunch of tanks. Oh, wow, look at this. Now, because of my equipment, I can just let loose. Oh, that shot missed. I can just let loose and not have to aim in between each shot. And just like that, we're already at 2.5k or 2.3k, which is quite respectable. However, now I'm on the big long reload. And as you can see, these tanks are trying to push up, and whoever that was right there just died. The GPT-68 just died. This BZ is probably going to die on 100 HP. Don't push that way. Push this way. You know, assuming the light tanks are dead. And by the time I get up there, I'm probably going to be reloaded. So, perfect. We're making our way. There's a T95. Wow, that's a lot of full HP targets right there. Oh, would you look at that? That one bounced somehow. Who fucking knows how? And just like that, 700 damage. Admittedly, now I'm going to be reloading for quite some time, but maybe I'll have some decent amount of shots by the time I get to the T95. He is focusing on the T54E1, so it's actually a perfect opportunity for me to go up here. However, I still only have 2 shells, and okay, I'm not going to bother firing the second one. I don't want to tank my reload that much. And, of course, that shot probably would not have penned. So, let's just take a brief moment. Oh, he's giving me his side? Well, alright. Looks like I'm not getting a full reload in this game. It's fine, though. We're already at 3,700 damage, which is great. Now, the middle put a shot into me, and the middle's dead. Alright, what else can we farm up? There's a 215B183, a Death Star, as it's properly called. And, you know, he's probably looks like he's gonna take out the... Oh, is he gonna take out the concept? Oh, he did. However, the EBR is probably gonna put a shot into him, and yeah, he's pretty much dead. It's not worth it. Let's just go down this way. So, let's see on the map. You know, what's funny is that I'm probably looking at the map at the exact same time that I held Alt, and that's why I crashed into that rock. But the reason I stopped is because that's a Cobra, right? And I'm on 600, 700 HP. He can kill me in 2 shots, so let's just get unlit before we continue on. But yeah, apparently they're both on full health. Not sure if that's true because they're out of render, right? However, nobody's up here to shoot them really, so they're probably at least half health. And okay, that Sturv is almost full health. And where's the Cobra? There's the Cobra. He is full health. Cobra fired 1. He fired 2. Well, he can still 2-shot me because he has another 2 rounds left. So actually, I'll just let this Foch go in and take the shots for me. Alrighty. Use him as cover. That was bad shot by me, but okay, now I can get to unloading. Excellent. 4,200 damage, just like that. This is a very good cleanup tank. Just finding people, sucking 1,000 damage out of them, and continuing. Now, put 2 shots into him. This gun depression is messing with me. He's gonna reload any time now and kill me, but I don't really care. I just want damage, right? The game's over. Put a shot into him. Put another shot into him. There you go. 5,000 damage. Perfect. And in fact, he's not going after me. And will I get the reload in? Okay, not quite. But that's fine. 5,000 damage in a premium tank. And I didn't have to fire any gold in this because this tank is a very good flanker, right? And the APCR rounds are quite nice. 256 pen, 1,500 shell velocity. So, yeah, I made a lot of credits this round. Okay, here we are on Oyster's Bay. And yeah, you know what? This map really just blows the biggest dick because the problem with this map is this is on the Leicester server and they do not get the updated Oyster's Bay, right? So this middle part right here is still just right here. I can't ping it. This middle part right here is still identical to Abbey, for example. This is like exactly how Abbey is laid out. The difference is with Abbey is that to get shot by the base campers, you have to cross a very specific point. Whereas here, you can get shot by base campers just for doing anything. It doesn't matter where you go, you're going to get shot by them. Here, this is like an even longer ranged airfield. Yeah, because we needed that. So on airfield, you might be able to poke and shoot, but this is all side scraping, cupola sniping. Absolutely atrocious. And this whole side of the map is unplayable because of shit camping TDs, right? It's just amazing little spot right here where people have an overview of the whole area and you just can't do anything. Now, despite this, I'm coming over here because I've seen some people come here and get shots. And would you look at that? It's actually true. You do get shots. Now, let you check that out. 480 damage, 470 damage bursts. You always do your little 2-round bursts. However, if someone is sitting over there and has some decent view range, they'll just spot you. Look at that, another 400 damage. So this tank is very good at doing the little 2-round bursts. And spoiler, there is actually a TD there, but he doesn't have the view range to spot me. This is the only reason why I'm able to play the game is because TDs are unable to ruin my match, right? There he is. He is actually in my spotting distance. It doesn't show the rings on the minimap because I free cammed. It's one of the downsides of the free cam mod. And yes, that shot did bounce on him. It's kind of obnoxious. APCR rounds, they like to do whatever the hell they want. Just like that. And now I'm empty. My magazine's empty. However, I'm not in a desperate need for DPM. I'm not in a brawl or anything. I have plenty of time to reload. While I'm reloading, I'm looking at my friend here, Anver51. So, Anver51, who's that? That's actually Zaid. He bought a Russian account, and just to play on the Russian server. Now, I'm waiting for my shot to reload, but I think, he's probably gonna die. Because the Foch 155 is an autoloader, right? But yes, as I was saying, I'm playing with Zaid because I was telling him, hey, you know, the Russian server, it's quite nice compared to the NA and EU servers to play on. So he bought an account, we're platooning, and believe it or not, he actually agrees with me. The servers are a lot slower paced, okay? Don't get me wrong, 15-3 blowouts, you know, the horrible shit losses, shit wins, they happen, okay? They happen. They happen more often than I would like, but they don't happen nearly as often as it does on NA or EU. So that's a perk. And the Russian server is interesting because despite the fact that they have some of the most batshit crazy tanks, like the Gendrame, the H3 and all those, very overpowered tanks, the overall gaming experience is still better. So the only reason I could think that is the enormous player pool that the RU server has means that the average person you're fighting is probably not very good at the game. And I guess you could say the average RU might not be as good as the average NA, just solely based on the fact that NA people usually have better PCs, right? I think that could safely be said. I was talking to a Russian guy and he said, yeah, I mean, the Russian ruble is not quite as good as the American dollar, but they still have to pay American prices for all the computer parts. So yeah, of course, these high-end gaming PCs are going to be more expensive over there. Is that the reason the RU server is better? I have no idea, man. Although I do think it has to do with the player pool, okay? Having a large player pool means there's a lot of... Oh yes, I'm being an anti-aircraft gun now. This map is quite boring. What can I say? You can't push any side because of tank destroyers. And I was thinking of making like... You know how I made a video on why Watt sucks? It's a very detailed, long, analytical video. I was thinking of making a few of them, but... Oh, look at that. Doesn't pen. I don't know what it is with APCR, man. In fact... Hold that thought. Okay. So on NA, it tells you how much your pen is at 200 or... Oh no, it's 500 meters. It doesn't on EU or RU, that is. We're on the RU server right now. And one thing I've noticed is that it's not always consistent. The G-SOAR, for example, the tier 8 autoloader, its pen at 500 meters is horrific with gold. It goes from like 320 to like 230, which is a huge drop-off. I don't think most tanks have a drop-off like that. So I don't get it. Another hidden stat from Wargaming, I guess. Anyway, I got lit here, so I'm going to back up. So, as I was saying, I was thinking of making a bunch of smaller, more themed videos about certain aspects of the game instead of one giant video that might be too long for people to want to watch. There you go, nice kill. Again, 2-round bursts. So some of the videos I was thinking of is discussing armor on heavy tanks and how, this is a hot take, I know, but frontal weak spots on every heavy tank is sort of a World of Tanks thing, and really it's not akin to what you would expect from heavy tank gameplay. That's one video. Another one is or I could include this in what I'm about to say in the heavy tank video, but the matchmaking +2 -2 only really works with mediums and tank destroyers even. Yeah, that's another subject we can discuss. And the maps is another one. So the maps in World of Tanks, the difference between pre 1.0 and post 1.0 is enormous. Pre 1.0 there was no theme, there was no like, I don't know how to describe it. Fuck it, I'll just call it a theme. I don't know where along the lines Wargaming came up with this, but every map follows the 3 corridor rule, where 1 corridor is for heavies, 1 corridor is for sniping TDs, and the middle corridor is for mediums that rush in and die early in the game. A lot of maps have this, a lot of newer maps especially have this, although that's part of the issue. The big problem for me is that pre 1.0 maps did not really have many sniper perches. Post 1.0 maps, almost every map has its dedicated sniper TD perch, which completely ruined the game. Like, it completely ruined the game. So, like, in theory, you would think, okay, a bunch of base camping tank destroyers would slow down the combat, right? And make the games last longer. In practice, it doesn't really happen, and I will explain that in the future. In fact, thinking about it, we'll ask you guys, would you like this to be 3 separate themed videos? Or just one great big video, like why World of Tanks sucks, for example? Let me know in the comments below. Let's hold off on this and go back to the replay, because the replay is now going to get interesting. I'm sitting here and not in the bush because I don't want to get blind shot. As you can see, that Nemesis already blind shotted. He blind shotted the rock, he blind shotted this bush. So I'm sitting in the least obvious position, right here. Okay. Okay. This fucking idiot just decided to blind shot here, of all places. And he did it again, except he hit my gun this time. So I don't know what kind of fucking mods this guy has, or if he's just so retarded that he just blind shots just randomly and got extremely lucky. But we're not capping this match. So I'll probably tell this guy to pull back. Do I? No. We should all group together because we have less HP than everybody. right? So it's very dangerous. Okay. I don't know how I got lit here. As you see on the map, nothing can light me except maybe the Nemesis. I don't know. Now, they got a tier 10 who has quite a bit of armor and a decent chunk of health. So this is quite dangerous. Now, when you're in this situation and you're a one-shot like the prototype and the VZ, do not push into the front lines. You're going to get yourself killed, as that VZ 58K has just done. Now, this prototype is probably next. Now I'm thinking, can I get a shot on him over here? And no. So, again, it's... Tank destroyers, feel free to farm us up. But anybody else who wants to use this position for flanking shots, not gonna happen. It's just, yeah, just dog shit. Anyway, I've got my 5 rounds. I'm ready to go. I've got a shit barn here who has a decent amount of health. To win, we must go together. Together, we have a lot of HP and a lot of firepower. Separated, we are very weak. And I'm saying, oh, don't poke this. Let him get in, right? Okay, I was actually saying this to Zaid in chat. Just, you know, ranting to myself. Camp this corner because if he is here, this is not a fight you can win. He's hull down. So camp this corner and wait for him to commit. When he gets to around here, you'll proxy him. Then you poke out and blast his ass. But now this is a terrible situation. He is hull down, and if we want to push him, we're going to get sniped. This shit barn, Jane Tokyo Pound 0, alright, is going to push him in the shit barn. Really, you're going to do that. So I'm thinking, well, I need to take this opportunity to just rush this guy. If I just sit back and let the shit barn die, there's no way I'm going to beat this guy. He put a shot into me, but I have an auto reloader, right? That one... Armor not hit. Okay, sure, buddy. Now we must close the gap so we don't get shot. The ship barn actually decided to follow me. So, I'm not sure. I mean, he wanted to help. That's good. But you've lost all your health now. I put a shot into this guy as he's leaving. Now, I'm not quite sure what this tank's alpha damage is. It's the Object 168H. It's in the NA files. It's not actually in the game, though. So... It's either 320 or 360. I can't quite remember. And if it's 360, it's a problem. And, oh, would you look at that? The ship barn poked. And, okay, this thing's got armor. Gotcha. Fine. Look at the ship barn said, Suka! It's fine, buddy. It's fine. I'm an auto reloader with 5 shots. I can bounce 3 of them. Doesn't matter. However, the arty could pen me and kill me. And, oh, would you look at that? Okay, put a shot on Tim. 200! Alright, I better not low roll the next shot or else I'm cooked. Alright, I low rolled the next shot. Oh my god, where did you even hit, buddy? Did you see that shot? Is it on the lower plate? Was that right there, the HE shot he penned? Or not penned, he splashed and it damaged my turret ring? Goodness. What a stupid fucking game this is. Anyway, he hit the mother of all snaps in like an arty. I kill him, which is great. 5 kills, 5k damage, this is great. The ship barn says why, although that's like this, I don't know, someone can explain to me what that means, but yeah, so this tank, it can punch above its weight. The Nemesis shot me with HE, ouch, 500 I took, then I YOLO'd and clipped him, and honestly, not to brag, I think this was the perfect play, considering our ship barn was not that good. If I was a teal player, I'd probably sit back there and try to snipe at what he was spotting for me. He would die, and then I'd have to try and dig out a Nemesis and an Object 168H. So, that would not have been ideal, okay? This tank doesn't have the DPM or the magazine capacity to do that. So, pushing together always works. Even if it's not the best plan, pushing together works. So that was pretty good. On to the next replay. Alright, we're on Berlin. Quite frankly, I don't really think Berlin is that great of a map. Like, unless you're a very strong and heavily armored heavy tank, there's not much for you to do. Again, everywhere you go, there's shit campers. There's always shit campers back over there. Try to push it. There's shit campers around this area and that area. Look, man, I really need to make this video on maps. Wargaming's decision to add a bunch of shit camping sniper PTD perches to pamper to tank destroyer players, mainly Scorpion G players. That's my conspiracy. Scorpion G was so successful that perhaps Wargaming decided that they're going to cater every map to tank destroyers. But yeah, it's done irreparable damage because the chances that every single map gets its tank destroyer positions removed or changed is pretty much zero. So it's just fucked. The game's just fucked from that now. Anyway, Berlin. What do I do when I'm, you know, not in a super strong hull down tank? I play this side. Okay, this guy can't quite shoot me. All right, fucking all of those shots missed. That's quite obnoxious. RNG is quite obnoxious. Like, I should be on 700 damage, but yeah, whatever. What you do is you just camp this corner. And the reason I show you this replay is that even the most mid, you know, average game where you don't really do much, the game just unfolds and you win, you can get a decent result out of. So, there we go. He poked. 270 damage. That's not that great. So I'm thinking, can I go around just yet, right? Drive over there and go around them and shoot them in their butts? Not quite. I'm having a good look. We've pushed up, but I know if I push up, I'm just gonna take a lot of damage and shoot people frontally. And oh, would you look at that? Interesting. Okay. I can unload on you faster than you can unload on me, and I have a decently strong turret. So, that was a good exchange. There we go. I only took one shot, and that was when I was overpoked a bit too much. And I just clipped him. Now I'm on 1500 damage. That's great. So, I come back here because I'm thinking, well, I can't really go around because there's a T-54E1, a Proto T-06, and a T-49 in the mid. So I have no choice but to just come here and hopefully wait for someone to shoot their gun. Now, the H3... I have HP, and I'm pretty sure we're about to win this side, right? I will take the damage and get some more damage in. I'll trade my HP. I'll load my second shot, so I can get at least 480 out of this. Alright, and as you can see, I think that was a good call to go in and eat that 700 damage, because yeah, it's a big meaty shell, but look, we've basically won the flank in no time flat. It's the only damage I was gonna get. So, is there anything else for me to farm? Okay, there's that. I'm on 2400 damage. It's not really that great. I guess this is like average for your average player. They'd be content with this. However, of course, I'm trying to get a good replay here to show you guys. So, okay, T-49. Can I get the second shot reloaded? No, he's going to back up. Oh, okay. I might actually get the second shot. Would you look at that? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Despite the fact that this thing has great accuracy, like I said, RNG will always find a way to fuck you over. It doesn't matter how good your accuracy is. He's aiming at me, but this thing's armor is not bad enough to get penned by that. HE, right? It has just enough armor to block the HE round. Although, I think he was firing heat, so that probably would have killed me. Anyway, let's go on and get some damage. Oh, whoops. Let's just speed this up. So, this is your average game, right? You don't really do much damage. Let's just speed it up a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get some on this guy. Nope. Just loses all of his HP in one single poke. All right, where's the lion? Okay, there's the lion. Well, I'm fully loaded. I have enough health to take a shot from him. You know, I'll probably die clipping him out, but who cares? The game's over and I want more damage, right? So, let's try. Here he is. Aim for his engine deck. A nice fire. Just like that, 4,000 damage. That's a pretty good game. So this thing's ability to just clean up damage is quite fantastic, honestly. And he bounced his heat round, which I guess was in the side here, maybe at a not ideal angle. So that's pretty good. This tank, it's nowhere close to being overpowered, but it's quite fun. And I think this one would sell. It's basically a tier 9 Progetto, although the Progetto at tier 8 is, I think, better tier for tier, but still. Wargaming, out of all the tanks on the Leicester server, this is the one that you should add the soonest, because it's not overpowered and it will probably sell a lot, because people like the Progetto. People like, you know, fast firing, you know, bang, 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 fast tanks, all that. This is one of them. And the best part, it's not overpowered. If there's one thing I would buff about this tank, is maybe the gun handling, or Yeah, I don't know, the accuracy. The gun handling can be slightly better. Just a little bit. It's a 90 mil, man. Come on. This thing doesn't need to have derpy gun handling for a 90 mil. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.